Dayro. So as you all know, Sister Christina Dayro is the wife of Elder Dayro, who happens to be the one of the area 70 here in the Philippines. And from what we know is that Sister Christina Dayro is the country director for the Bountiful Children's Foundation, and we are glad to have her tonight to really, kind of like present and inform us what they are doing in their great foundation, which happens to be the Success and Money Foundation or had a contact with the foundation, and give a little amount of donation for uh for them to kind of like give away or do their stuff in their foundation. So, Sister Christina Dero, magandang magandang gabi po. Thank you so much for being here. At gusto po namin na marinig, malaman din kung ano yung meron sa Bountiful Children's Foundation. And later on, after po siguro ng mga slides ninyo, we can have a parang simple interview siguro para mas makilala pa natin ang bawat isa. Sister Dero?
Good evening. Thank you so much, Brother Daryl, and thank you, Brother Tom Painter, and the whole of Success and Money Foundation for this opportunity to share with you all about Bountiful Children's Foundation. So this is our mission, is to nurture the potential of children and toddlers to lead healthy, productive, and self-reliant lives by eliminating malnutrition. So we are doing this at the very start, at the very initiation of life. And we are so grateful for the foundation, for Success and Money Foundation, for sharing their resources to us, because we have so much in common with what the Success and Money Foundation is doing and what Foundipol is doing. So we know that during the first 1,000 days of life, this is the very critical period that we need to nourish the child's body and mind and his cognitive development. And when this is neglected, there can be irreversible changes that can influence them for life, for good. And so an adequately nourished child learns better, more productive, has a stronger immune system, they have longer lives, they have a lower risk, not just of infectious diseases, but also of non-communicable diseases. While an undernourished child often has delayed mental development, more susceptible to infection, performs poorly in school, has a reduced intellect, and of course, has reduced economic productivity when he grows up. So why the 0 to 5 years of age is our target audience? It's because 35 out of 100 deaths in children between 0 to 5 years old are due to malnutrition. And this slide shows us the difference between a normal brain and the brain of a child who has suffered extreme neglect, either from malnutrition or from abuse, and see how underdeveloped that brain is. That's how important what we need to do, what we are doing is. So you don't just see very thin and scrawny children, but you can see these two children here. They are almost, they are of the same age, just a few days difference in their birthdays. But you can see that one is stunted or lacking in height for his age. And it can also be a reflection of the brain development of the child. So they could be underweight, wasted. Okay, you can see the child on the right is older than the child on the left. Okay, but he is much, much thinner. So what we're doing, we're also investing when we help these children because this is considered the most important humanitarian priority and a key factor in promoting self-reliance in their future. Okay, so I just want to show you quickly the trends here in the Philippines. You've seen over many years, there seems in so focus here in where I am located. And so from 2015 to 2018, there has been slight improvements, a lowered prevalence in the nutrition and also in anemia, years old and younger. Okay, but still the prevalence of anemia is high and the stunting is still high, and there's still a lot of things to be improved for breastfeeding and complementary feeding. So for the past year, the stunting and the wasting prevalence have decreased just a little bit. You can see here from 28.8 to 26.7, 5.8 to 5.5. So it still remains a problem here in the Philippines, which is affecting the future generations. See, whatever the cause, there uh, eliminate, and that is what we do at Bountiful. First, we weigh and measure the children, and when we see according to the World Health Organization standards that they are malnourished, then we provide nutrients for them, nutrient dense foods, and we teach the mothers and the caregivers healthy uh, practices, and then we track the progress of the children by weighing and measuring them again every 6 months until they turn 5 years old. So here are the examples of the food, high calorie, calorie dense foods that we give over here in the Philippines. Okay, we have micronutrient powder, peanut butter, powdered milk, soy powder, and infant cereal. We also encourage the mothers and teach them how to give more nutritious food and increase the nutrient intakes of their children during complementary feeding. We highly encourage breastfeeding, especially exclusive breastfeeding uh, during the first 6 months. And then we teach them health lessons in food preparation, using clean water, proper waste disposal, the very basic, and going to the health centers for immunizations, having their children dewormed. And we do all of these things through our local volunteers, our local coordinators in each program. They're the ones that deliver these interventions that we do with the help of the government centers. We refer them also to the government for the resources that the government can give. So does this work? Yes, it certainly works because we observe improvement for these types of malnutrition. especially for the severe acute malnutrition, we see a great improvement in more than 80%, more than 70% in moderate acute malnutrition. And the stunted children are pretty hard to resolve, but at least they do not worsen anymore, and they get a chance to have a brighter future. So how can anybody help? You can help by volunteering, by donating money, because little as $7, $7.5 can provide um, nutrition for a child for a month. And so whatever amount can help one child, and that is how we make a difference, one child at a time. So this is just an image of how a severely malnourished child will look after getting treated. And so that smile can just be your reward, seeing the smile of the mother and the child. And so I would like to end by this quotation. It says, "The ultimate treasures on earth and in heaven are our children and our family. Therefore, we must teach and contend for the principles and practices that provide the best conditions for the development and happiness of children, of all children, wherever they are, whatever their creed, whatever their color. We need to help all children." So thank you.
Wow, that's really nice. Sister, I really think that your purpose has something to do with what the Success and Money Foundation's mission, provide food and clean water, kind of a deal. So my first question, I guess, is how do you determine places, with children with such condition? So how do you do that? Do you have a screening or something like that?
We look at the nutrition situation in different countries, and we try to go where we are most wanted, especially where there are more people, more children there that are malnourished. We try to go there and make contact with the people that we know there who can help us.
Okay. So it's kind of like from town to town or like from barangay to barangay kind of a deal, working with other uh what we call the BHW here.
Actually, we started with contacting church groups, and then we expanded with the friends, with the
Mhm.
non-member friends of our church group, and so that's how we made contact with the community.
Wow, I think that's something that we really need to uh work, contacting others, kind of like a networking kind of a deal. So, I'm a high school teacher, and I've seen a lot of my students, even if they are in high school, they are lacking nutrition. And there are some students who are, uh, what do you call that? Uh, hinihimatay, parang ganyan, because they are hungry. They haven't took their breakfast, they haven't took their lunch, kind of a deal. So, I think that's one of the uh, problem we have right now here in the Philippines. So how do you plan to, kind of like provide a solution from 5 years from now?
So it really takes a village to not just to raise a child, to eliminate malnutrition. And so our foundation, Bountiful Children's Foundation, we just start with the critical age. So right now we just focus on the 0 to 5, and especially the 0 to 2 years old. That's the most critical period, the first 1,000 days. And so we hope that as they are able to survive and be nourished in those first early years, then other groups, other people, other other community resources will be able to help them as they go to school, no, and as they grow older, and they can become self-reliant
Mhm.
because they are well nourished while they are young.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea because you are using the community, and the community can be a great help. Here in our place here in Tarlac, we have the what we call the Rise and Rebuild Foundation, where I witnessed firsthand they are donating vegetables, their firsthand harvested vegetables to schools, where they are having a what they call the feeding program to these pupils, from grade ones to grade three. So, were you able to have contact with, or were you able to communicate with the Rise and Rebuild kind of a deal, so that it's kind of like a link where your purpose is really
Yes.
aligned with what
Yes.
they're doing.
Yes, it's so perfect if you can catch our children when they go to preschool and grade school, right? The ones that come from us, graduate from us at 5 years old, and they go to Rise and Rebuild schools with their feeding. So we just happen to get some of the extra produce from Rise and Rebuild. There was this one time in we have a program in Urdaneta, and
Mhm.
that was a bit close to Tarlac, where the Rise and Rebuild farm is. And then there's this one time when we have a program in Luluan, Cebu, where the Rise and Rebuild farm over there is quite close. So we were able to ask for their extra produce. So far, that's all that have been our link with Rise and Rebuild, because of the area is where the Rise and Rebuild is working in is not really in
Right.
our areas.
Right. Correct. So, we are making a difference here with the lives of other people. We have the seed, which are the children, and they cannot learn if they're hungry. They would rather listen to their stomach instead of listening to their teachers. So what you're doing is really great, and it's really helpful. Shop, baka meron kang gustong karagdagan or itanong?
Ayun, Sister Christine, thank you so much sa time na ibinigay niyo po to share sa amin yung about sa inyong foundation. And I know na masaya po yung Diyos sa ginagawa niyo po. At sinare ko po ito kina ni Tom yung about sa foundation ninyo, and then we give thanks, big thanks to Tom dahil sa kanyang share para sa inyong foundation. So malaki pong tulong po yun para sa mga kabataan. And then continue lang po. Tapos nandito lang po kami to also po mag-support. So gusto din po sana namin na yung mga membro din po, yung mga staff, na malaman din po nila itong foundation, itong Success and Money Foundation, para natulungan po natin yung mga kabataan at yung mga nanay nila, yung mga staff nyo din po, malaman din po nila ito kasi napakaganda din po itong programang ginagawa nito para sa mga Pilipino o para sa atin. So we need to help each other para maging maganda yung bunga. Sister Christy, thank you po sa time.
Okay, can I have one question?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. So we have programs in Cambodia. Would they be able to join here? Or is there a way they can join here in this particular time slot?
Definitely, sister, definitely. So we would love to have them, and we would love to, kind of like invite them to a help session probably, or we can have our own session so that we can kind of like uh teach you the basic together with Tom or Jake or Joshua or Ethan probably. And of course they can join. They can join.
Yes, thank you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us, Sister Dero. I appreciate you being here and making such a huge difference in so many people's lives. That's the purpose of the foundation, is to help people all over. And you are definitely making a huge difference for people. Thank you so much for being with us. We're going to be right back in our next section, and we're going to continue on just a second. Thanks for watching, everybody.